Hello everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw Mika. Okay, so pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video, just look in the look in the description of the video and you'll see a timestamp that you can click to that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the drawing. So for now, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and then I'll switch over to Sharpies. So this is just to, this is something real quick just to put some color down. I mean, put some lead down to just get the sketch down real quick and then we'll switch. But I got to do this first, and you know, eventually you'll be able to do this for yourself too, because you're going to practice and practice and practice, and that's how I got to where I am. It's just practicing over and over and over again until I could just look at the picture, see the details in it, and then do it for myself. And it's as simple as that, really. It's just making it up. I mean, that's the great part about it, is you get to do whatever you want, you know. Whenever you get to do what you want, it's much more fun, right? You can't do that all the time because, you know, it's selfish, but doing what you want to do is more ideal when it's fun, you know. And like I said, not in a selfish way, but in a you know, this is what I want to do today. I want to draw Fortnite characters, you know. That's what I want to do. And so when you decide that, you're like, yeah, that's what I want to do, and I want to do it like this, and I want to do it this way. Once you learn how to sketch, you can do that. You can figure out what it is, the position you want to do it in, and just go nuts. Okay, so, and you get to take artistic license and do it how you want. So I'm looking at a picture of her, but not in this pose. So that's where I'm kind of going with this whole thing, is that I am just taking the details of her and making it my own by taking those details and adding it little by little to the pose I'm putting it in, you know? So long story short, that's what I'm just trying to tell you, is that when you get to draw it the way you want, it's so much fun. And when you eventually start to draw enough that you can just do it however you want, man, there's nothing better. It's just, you know what, I want to draw it like this today, and I want her to be flashing the peace sign, you know, flipping the fingers. That sounds kind of weird, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, let's do that. Let's have her, you know, throwing the peace sign. And so you just got to know anatomy, and then you can do that. It's pretty simple. So yeah, just like that, I decided, you know, I think that's what I want to do, and that's how easy it is. Okay, so, but the thing is, you got to remember to add the detail, and you gotta do it right. I'm trying to do this fast. That's the thing. There's a lot of times that I'm doing stuff for you guys, and afterwards I'm like, oh, I completely forgot to do this, or I forgot to do that. It's just because I'm trying to go too fast. And by too fast, I just don't want to waste your time, or not waste your time. Sorry, it's not a waste of time. I don't want to keep you waiting, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's why I'm trying to go as fast as I possibly can and get the detail in at the same time. Okay, sorry, I went a little quiet there. I started concentrating. All right, I think that might work. Does she have gloves? She does have gloves. I forgot about that. So I got to draw those a little bit bigger. And let's see. Let me see if I can zoom in on them. They look like. Wait a minute. Does she have gloves? I do see. It's really cool. She's got like the fingerless gloves, but her fingers look like a robot fingers. They're kind of strange. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough for the hand. I'll come back to it and we'll see where we go. Now I just gotta draw her face and be happy with it before we move on. So, okay, so let me get the idea of what her hair is like. Oh, you know what? No, let's get the proportions of her face, right? And then I can worry about the hair. Proportions first, and that's why we sketch, because I got to get all of this right and make sure it's the right size. Then we go with the detail. You never want to do the detail first. It's the funnest thing to do, but we got to make sure that all of this fits right. Because sometimes too, I'll draw like the hands. Like this hand is a little big, but she's got a glove on, so I'm allowing myself to leave it that big. Okay, so it helps to sketch everything out first to make sure that it's going to go in the direction you like. Okay, there's that piece of hair. There's one coming over her face like that. Then this one has a big chunk out like this. Okay, so that'll give me the edge of her face here. Come over here. She's got kind of a pointed, round pixie face, so I'm going to play with that. Okay, so there's this wisp. They're not wisps, they're locks is what they are. This lock, like this. There's another one like that. Let's see, what is that? Like that. There we go. And then these come around like this. Come around like that. These are going like this. And this is going up like that. And this is going out like that. And this is kind of coming up like that. All right, I think I am happy with this. That I can switch over now. Let me just double check. See, I got to draw her shirt like that. I come down to the neck. Her jacket's right there. Her breast is right there. Those weird things on the side are right there. Her neck is a little long, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit, stretch that out. It would come down to here and do like that. So see, I kind of compensated. Again, that's why you want to sketch and step back and look, because I realized that the neck was super long compared to where her shoulders are. So I just, recalibrated. That's all I did. Okay, I think I'm going to move over from here. I'm going to start off with the Sharpie fine point and the Sharpie pen. And I'm going to use the Sharpie pen first because it's finer than the fine point. Go figure. Ooh, I saw something I missed. That. And it'll help me control the level of the ink on the face much better than that because it's super tiny. So I'm going to start with their eyelids like that, just to make sure I get them even. And that looks good to me, so I can go ahead and draw the iris and the pupil like that. And I don't draw underneath the eye just because this is so tiny. If this was bigger, absolutely I would draw the entire eye, but I run out of room with these tiny little things, so I just add a little bit of makeup like that, like the cat eye, the little wing, like that. Let's see, let me bring this one out again. And she doesn't quite have it, but I like doing that because it helps me make an eye when I can't, because I can only add so many lines to this Sharpie drawing because a lot of it just disappears. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the first few pieces of her hair just to give myself some control, because I want to draw her eyebrows and stuff, but a lot of it is covered up by hair, so I can't quite do that. So I'm just kind of putting some lines in just to help me give myself some start-stop points, Okay, so now that I have those, at least, I can draw the eyebrows because it helps me determine where those are going to be, or where my start-stop points are for them, like that. See? All right, so now I'm going to draw a little bit of a nose, just the nostrils like that. try to bring it in like this. Draw a little bit of a nose, just a bridge of it like that. That's all I'm going to do. It's so tiny I can't add much more than that. Okay, top lip, bottom lip, and that's all I can really do again for that, because you know these Sharpie drawings are so tiny I can't go too crazy, or it's all going to bleed together. All right, so I'm going to draw up to her jaw like this, and then to the side of her face like that, side of her face like that, and let's see, you can see a little bit of her ear like that. And so now I can draw the rest of her hair, and I guess I'm going to stick with the little Sharpie here for some of this detail in her hair. I don't want to go too crazy with this little Sharpie because it'll take forever drawing with this, but I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie in a second, and it's going to look weird if I just use thin lines like this, and you'll see what I'm talking about once I start using it. Alright, so I think actually what I can do is here, I'm going to do this one like that. Let's see, I'm going to draw a little bit of the hairline like this, just to give me some style, you know? And I think I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie now, just to try to make it all cohesive. So here we go. So I'm going to bring the big edges like this, and see how thick these are? That's why I was trying to go thicker, because these lines would look weird if I didn't do that. And I'm kind of I'm on a mission. I know exactly where I'm doing, so that's why I'm kind of laying down lines first, because I wanted that over this, like this one, I wanted it to be behind it, so that's why I had to do that line first. So when I say I'm on a mission, I have a plan, is guess what I was trying to say. Alright, looks great to me. So let's keep going. So I'm going to draw her neck, and draw the edge of her shirt like this, and I'm going to go ahead and draw her jacket, just the edges of it like this, all the way around, or all the way down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Then draw the edge like this. I'm going to go ahead and do this other edge since I'm here. And there I'm going to stop, because that's going to hurt. The edge of her breast is going to cover up that. But, so I'll go ahead and draw it. And then I'll draw her shirt like this. Wrinkle it up just a little bit. And draw the edge of her jacket. So I'm going to draw this part up here. Draw this part down here. I'm not worried about too much of those edges, because I can only do so much with this big fat Sharpie. Oh, but you know what? Look, I see she's got like this little, I don't know what it is. Oh, I can't forget this. There's like these little straps around the collar that I can't forget. Okay, but she has like this, I don't know what it is, but it's this tube thing. And you guys probably already know this by now. I don't, because I'm just looking at pictures as soon as they come out and try to draw them as fast as possible, so you guys can have access to them as quick as possible. But these tubes that go around to the back of her jacket, and I don't know what that is, but it looks pretty cool. So I'm just going to do something like this. Just draw the shape that it's in. And then come back with the big Sharpie in a second. I just wanted to do that before I forget. So I'm kind of accenting it by not drawing with the big fat Sharpie. Okay, so I can't draw any more of her jacket because now that's covered up. Same thing, I was going to draw the line right there, but it's covered up. So I'm just going to move on with her, the big bulkiness of her jacket. So I'm just going to kind of go on here. And I'm going to follow my sketch, basically is what I'm doing. And I'm going to draw some folds, just a couple, because I want to do more with the tiny Sharpie. And then just draw the rest of her arm, following my sketch. So I know it seems like I'm kind of floating a few things, but I'm drawing according to my sketch. Alright, let's go ahead and do a few little details that I put in here, like that. And draw some of those folds I was talking about. And just a couple, like that. Kind of thin that out a little bit. So same thing, I'll just prepare and get ready and draw those. So now I'm going to draw her hand. And so her hand, I'm going to draw, like I said, throwing the peace sign up. So I'm going to draw the bottom of her hand to her thumb. And again, because she's got like these robotic parts, or, not robotic parts, but big digits, I don't feel so bad about how I'm drawing it here, because it's a little different, and I'm kind of following my sketch now, and just kind of going by this. So now that I have that, I know that looks a little strange, but I'm going to start adding in those weird lines just to make it my own. Make it what's the word I'm looking for? It's not robotic, but it's I can't even think of the word, but bulky. I guess that's the best word I could say. They're bulky. Okay, so let's move on to the other one over here. So I'm just going to draw her jacket down with some folds and bends. You know how I like to do. And then draw it over like this. And then I can draw her hand. Now her hand's going to be on her hip. So her glove is so big and bulky that all I'm really going to do is draw like the big knuckles, like that. And then I can kind of build off of this. So because of it's so big and bulky, I can kind of do that. And just assume that it's touching right there, So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do this, this, and that. And the reason I did that is because it's got those straps around, and I just kind of wanted to accent with a tinier Sharpie. And so there we go. And there's the side of her. So now let's just draw the bottom of her. So her shirt's kind of hanging down, doing one of these. And so let me get back to my my picture. And so now we're kind of just drawing anatomy, because down until we get to the knees, it's just her legs, And so I'm just going to do that there, and I'm going to draw her crotches about right there. So I'm going to bring this down to like this, That's a technical term. I'm going to draw it to like this. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, kids. Always be able to laugh at yourself. And there's a little pack sheet, not pack, but like a cylinder she has on her side here. Not really attached. Well, it's attached by like a belt. We'll just do that right there. It goes underneath her shirt. Which reminds me, there's like a little thing right there. So now I can draw the back of her leg like this to her knee pad. And so her knee pad this one is just a normal knee pad. Well, I say a normal knee pad, but there's nothing normal about Fortnite characters, right? But this one is kind of this big and bulky, mechanical looking knee pad. And I'm going to kind of make this up as I go, just to try to figure it out. Like this. Like that. And I'm kind of exaggerating how it is, but it's not just a slender piece like that. It's a big, it looks like it's got like bendy things on the side. I don't know, it's strange, but cool. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw her leg down like this. Attach that there. And there are like some straps, so that's why I kind of gave myself some little strap places. Like that. And then her cool shoe. So I'm going to draw this up just so I know where I am. And that way I can draw this up. And then let's see, it's going to go over, in like that. and then it's going to go down to the toe, like that. Then there are a couple little digits like that, like this, okay? And there's a little bit of detail, but we're not going to go crazy here because color is going to take care of a lot of this. But I will do that, I will do that, and I will do that. Okay, there's more going up, but we're going to do that with color. We're going to just have the fun with the line drawing, okay? Okay, so let's see. I'm just overlooking, making sure there's nothing else I'm forgetting. There are like a couple little things hanging down off the side. I'll go ahead and draw those real fast before I forget. And it looks like just little strap things hanging off. Kind of attached right here. They don't stand out much. That's why I'm using the tiny Sharpie, just to give them a life, but not give them a story. How's that? Or I guess it is a story. I don't know. I'm just drawing. Let's just keep drawing. I'm trying to narrate when I don't need to, right? I just need to keep a drawing. Alright, so this is pretty much a slender piece. We're just gonna give it a top piece like that, come down and come in for the shoe. There is like an X branding across with some kind of paint or something, so I'm not going to draw it. I'm just going to acknowledge that something is there, and it'll show up when I do the coloring. So now I'm just going to do the top of her foot like this, and I'm going to do this nub before I forget. There's another one over here. There's another one over here. Actually, there's two, kind of like that. And then the heel, but you can't quite see the heel. We're just going to kind of do this, and I'll do that for the heel, okay? So last thing, I'm going to do that line like I did over there, and a couple of the ones across, like I did over there, like that. Okay, so I say we take care of the rest with color, so that is Mika. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.